Feeling good, feeling great, feeling good. How are you? Boy, them goddamn Eagles put boots to ass in that second half, huh? That's why I had to get the hell off stream to give myself enough time because I knew that was just not going to be a good thing. I knew that was not going to end well. Um, Salute to the Commanders. Salute to Jaden Daniels. He tried his damnedest, so I'm not mad at all. The boy tried, right? We're gonna tap into the chat, let folk that we up in here. Hopefully everything is strong, everything is smooth. Any issues or concerns, just let me know. And of course, we have Corey already up in here. Who is better than Jalen Hurts? Well, some would say we're about to see two dudes who are better than Jalen Hurts. If you're going to talk about him playing right now, who's playing better than him right now? Again, a team with these types of weapons, this is what's expected of him. This isn't something where he's playing out of his head or over his head. And what's good with Kellen Moore? Kellen Moore called a hell of a game today. Now, will you admit that? So, as you see here, boots to ass, a 55-piece double nickel. The Eagles take down the Washington Commanders. I jumped on here briefly in the first half. It was a lot of interesting things and weren't. The Commanders they turned the ball over twice in that first half. And the funny thing about it is, and we were briefly going over it during the first stream, the Commanders weren't getting stopped by the Eagles defense. Every time they touched the ball and didn't fumble, they scored in that first half. But unfortunately, every time they fumbled, the Eagles got 7 points. And their 7 is more than the other team's 3. And so you can't Zane Gonzalez your way into a W in the NFC Championship game on the road especially. So they tried it. They hung on for a half. But then after that, it was a wrap, right? Like there's not much you can do when you have a squad that has a dominant number 1 wide receiver in A.J. Brown, has a dominant, I'm ready to say, top 3 player in the league in Saquon Barkley. You have a really good defense. You have really good supplemental parts. You have a good O-line, great D-line. Like, the Eagles are one of the most stacked rosters from top to bottom in the whole National Checkdown League. This is what they're supposed to look like. And the problem that they haven't looked like this is why people question how good is Jalen Hurts. Because if I give any QB that's worth a damn, A.J. Brown, Saquon Barkley, a dominant offensive line at times, Devonta Smith as your number 2, who could be a number 1 on other teams, Dallas Goedert is an upper echelon tight end. Like, I'm giving you all the pieces necessary to win. I'm giving you all the pieces needed to put up a double nickel at the crib in a big spot. Yet we've seen too many times where the offense just hasn't clicked. And I know Corey's one of them that wants to put that more on play calling, but we always talk about how you need the horses. And if you need the horses, that talent should win out more times than not. Coaching be damned. There's this tug of war over how valuable, how important coaching actually is. And I kind of lean on, if I got the horses, I got the talent. I'm not saying I need Barry Switzer, but I'm saying is that I don't need Belichick if I got the horses. I don't have to have elite top tier coaching if I know my roster from top to bottom is stacked. And that's what the Eagles have been over the last 3 to 4 years. So they should be in the NFC Championship game. We thought they were going to be on the road facing the Lions or whatever, but Be that as it may, you beat who's in front of you. They got a cupcake. They took care of business. They put up a double nickel. So salute to the Eagles. They did what they had to do. We now get to the championship game, the real championship game. Let me make sure this is right here. So make sure my screen is showing the right stuff. Hang on one second. Salute to those pulling up. Appreciate it. Corey, he interviewed for HC in Dallas, and apparently he was turned off. Not surprised. So Kellen Moore is not as dumb as we think. Kellen Moore is not as dumb as we think. I mean, the fact that Brian Schottenheimer is the coach of the Dallas Cowboys tells you everything you need to know, as much as it's been bantied about whether it's a is it going to be a thing of, is it Jerry's way or is it Stephen Jones's way, or whoever the case, it kind of just doesn't matter. Like, it's Jerry's way or the highway. It doesn't matter. No good coach worth a damn, or no smart coach. I don't know if Kellen Moore is going to be actually a good coach one day, but he certainly has shown me in turning down the Cowboys that he's a smart one, that he's certainly not a stupid one. You only take the Cowboys job for one of two reasons. You want job security and you like paychecks. Those are only reasons to be the coach of the Dallas Cowboys. And also, low-key, not a lot of pressure. Not a lot of pressure being the Dallas Cowboys coach, because Jerry is always going to be front and center. Even when Jerry dies, he's going to be front and center. Let that sink in. Even when Jerry dies, he's going to be front and center in Dallas. Because then it'll be Steven, and Steven's going to carry it out. He won't be the type of personality like Jerry Jones is. He's not going to be walking around talking about Johnny Walker Double Blue. But he's going to be carrying it the same way. And allegedly, he's way more involved, et cetera, et cetera. And he seems to be doing similar things, hiring patsies like Jerry would. X Productions, what's good? You know, someone drop a nuke on Arrowhead. Damn, dog. So I'm guessing you so you don't want either team to get out of here. All right. I mean, I think the bulk of this channel's audience would have enjoyed a Baltimore-Kansas City matchup. I think that's the one where it would have been the colliding of a whole lot of different polarizing personalities. I'm actually into this game. I think the Chiefs, it's a weird thing to say, but the Chiefs are like the weakest 15-2 team I've ever seen in my life, but only because they have yet to look dominant. Even in the playoffs, they have yet to look dominant as a team that has only lost twice, and one of those was a gimme where they sat their starters. So, like, knowing that Mahomes is 15-1 this year, knowing that Mahomes is going for a three-peat, knowing that Mahomes is going for his 4th overall, and now you got Josh Allen in the way, who's trying to break through and get to his first. You got to like that. You got to like the storyline of it. You might not like the particulars. I mean, the Kansas City fan base, I mean, never forget, during 2020, during COVID, during a time of social unrest, when the NFL came back and was, you know, fans were actually allowed in the stadium, in Arrowhead, off of a Super Bowl win, by the way. Players got together at midfield in solidarity, saying unity, and the fans booed. Y'all won a Lombardi. Y'all have the best player in the game. And y'all can't even chill for 5 minutes to let the players give us a performative show. We know there was no real meaning behind it, but it was a performative thing. A show of force, a show of will, a show of unity. And the Kansas City fans booed it. Yeah. Anywho, we starting early with the nonsense, so I'm here for it. We need to change the browser, so give me 1 second. All right, top right, which screen? We're going to be upside down for a second so I can fix this. Screen capture. Are they going to allow me to fix this? Yep. Come off of that. Change to that. Do that. And go back. Okay. Now we should be good. Now we could go right back side up. All right, cool. All right, so we're going to get on to the game that matters. But as you see here, look, we'll go through it real quick because Mahomes is getting interviewed on CBS. All right, so you see here, Jaden Daniels put up a hell of a performance. 255 yards. You know, again, a rook on the road trying his damnedest to will his team to a victory. It was a hell of a job by Jaden Daniels. But Jalen Hurts, 20 of 28, 246 yards, 1 touchdown. I think the difference was and is Saquon Barkley. I mean, because again, if we're talking about numbers, I mean, we're talking about under 275, barely 260 all-purpose, 262 all-purpose for Jalen Hurts, 4 touchdowns combined, 3 on the ground. And again, if we're going to kill Josh Allen for the fact that over half of his rushing touchdowns were 1 yard or less, I mean, these Jalen Hurts touchdowns, yes, he had the long one last week, pause, but like, if it was more of those, we could actually have these conversations about how good Jalen Hurts actually is. But as long as they're going to be, you know, cherry picking at the goal line, when those could be, arguably, all of those could have been Saquon. Saquon could have had 5 touchdowns, 5, 6 touchdowns. And imagine the numbers Saquon could have put up if it wasn't just a tush push for every single short and goal situation. Like, imagine. But Saquon, I mean, we talked about it early in the game. 2 carries, 2 touchdowns. It was like 2 carries, 64 yards, 2 touchdowns. The Commanders could not stop Saquon in the regular season, and they could not stop him today. There was a stat I mentioned that in the first quarter of all 3 games, if you add the numbers up, Saquon had over 200 rushing yards and like 4 touchdowns and was averaging like 12 and a half yards a pop. Like, so the main thing was the Commanders could not stop the run, and the Eagles did the smart thing and they ran Saquon. Sometimes football isn't as complex as they try to make it. All right. The main event is the Bills and the Chiefs. Game is underway. Quick little 3 and out for the Chiefs. Salute to those who have pulled up. This is going to be, for me, a very interesting broadcast. I'm very interested to see where this goes. I'm very interested in the outcome of this game, right? We know what is supposed to happen, what is likely to happen. Mahomes is supposed to find a way. But what happens when Mahomes doesn't find a way? What is going to be the scenario when that happens? I'm just going to make sure we're still good here. I'm seeing the stream, but we're getting some buffering issues. So let me just make sure we're not all bad there. 3 and out. 3 and out for the Bills on their first drive. Chiefs are getting the rock. Okay, so we're good there. All right. Not sure what's up in other things, but we're good there. Just want to make sure we're good on the stream. We're good on the stream. All right, cool. Okay, so Mahomes is cooking early. Hollywood Brown, that's a name that he has sorely missed. It's weird that in 2025, Hollywood Brown is sorely missed. But here we are. Okay. Hollywood Brown cooking up early. I do have my stream up. I have a couple of streams up. I use it to catch some replays as I'm looking at y'all and looking at stats and trying to run through. We have the Elon app open as well, so we'll be able to tap in on the Elon app and see what's good over there. Nice little cushion. Mahomes running the rock. You like to see that. Similar to Lamar, I mean, we needed to see Lamar run a little bit more, and this is now the second straight postseason where I feel he hasn't run enough. I mean, the Ravens didn't run enough at all, and that's more so on Todd Monken. But I do believe, like, and I had the numbers to bear it out. If you watched how Lamar has run in the playoffs, when he ran the ball double digits, they've only lost once in the postseason. There's something like 3 or 4-1. Whereas if you flip that the other way, and anytime Lamar has run less than double digits in the postseason, they've only won like once. So, like, I think if you're going to be these dual threat quarterbacks, and that's where these guys are the prototypes, your Mahomes, your Lamar, and even Josh Allen, these are now the prototypes for QBs for the next couple of generations. To maximize that, you need to run the ball. You can't be a dual threat and just be that threat. You can't be a dual decoy. Like, no, be an actual dual threat. Like, I will run. And I want to see that more from even Mahomes. I think Mahomes, who's not as fast as Lamar and he's not as physically imposing as a Josh Allen, but I feel as though he's just as elusive in his own way than a Josh Allen and a Lamar Jackson. Like, they all have their strengths, right? Like, Lamar has track speed, he's got juke moves, all of that. Josh Allen is a tank and is extremely difficult to take down, especially one-on-one. Then you have Mahomes, who's a little bit of all of that, right? He's got some juke in him. And then he's not the smallest dude either. So he's kind of a hybrid of the two. But he just needs to run the ball more. Big chunk play on this opening drive. Juju Smith-Schuster, 31-yard gain. So Hollywood Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster in the mix early. Bills defense has been getting a lot of praise for their performance. And on this opening drive, giving up receptions to Hollywood Brown and Juju. And Xavier Worthy. So Mahomes out the gate 4 for 4, 61 yards. Interesting. This game has all the makings. I swear to you. Yeah, and Juju was on the run there. Juju was on the run. That could have been a house call. That could have been a house call. Already inside the red zone, Kareem Hunt with a couple of runs. 1st and 10 at the Buffalo 11-yard line. You can't script this any better. You can't script this any better. Bills come out 3 and out. All of a sudden, Mahomes gets the rock, goes right down the field, and he's not hitting Kelsey. He's not killing you with Kelsey yet. He's getting chunk plays from Juju, and he's moving the chains with Hollywood Brown. Moving the chains with Hollywood Brown, you can't make that up. And Kareem Hunt runs it into the end zone. Touchdown Chiefs. They go up 7-0. Huge drive by the Chiefs. We talked about it with the Commandos and the Eagles. Bills got to answer. Chiefs up 7-0. They go right down the field like a hot knife through butter. They go right through the Bills like a hot knife through butter. 7-0. Chiefs are up. Okay. This 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 game has all the makings. If you want to see a dominant performance, if the Chiefs need to put on a dominant performance, if it were to be here, that would be a huge statement. Winning the game in a typical Chiefs fashion of a close game, et cetera, that would not be a statement win. It would just be like they've been this whole entire time, survive in advance. If they were to go out and put the hammer down on the Buffalo Bills, that would be a statement. Just like the Eagles went out there and put up a double nickel. This would be a statement. A bigger statement than the Eagles double nickel would be if the Chiefs go out here and put up a big number on the Bills. All right, let's see what we got on the Elon app. Let's go ahead and get a refresh. Man, people getting some bets off, boy. People are getting bets off. Eagles are the second team in NFL history to host 3 playoff games in one postseason.